If you are not speaking, kindly make sure your mic is muted. So we have already covered some of the running outcome, but we also use the assembler debug to examine the inner working of malicious window executable by also bypass variety of packers and other defensive mechanism designed by malware authors to misdirect, confuse, and otherwise slow down the analyst. Another learning outcome of this course, you will recognize and understand common assembly level patterns in malicious code, such as DLL injection and anti-analysis measures. At the end of this course, you'll also be able to assess the threats associated with malicious documents, such as PDF, a Microsoft Office file in the context of targeted attack. I'm also expecting at the end of this course, you'll be able to achieve and learn on how to drive indicators of a compromised from malicious executable to perform incident response at triage. You will also utilize practical memory for risk techniques to examine the capability of the rootkit and other malicious program type. So maybe I could start, maybe in the chat, you could try to share, what do you understand when we say, when you hear word malware? So maybe I could monitor the chat. You can type in the chat, what do you understand by the term malware? So you can just share your thought in the chat. What is I'm monitoring the chat. If you can type, what do you understand by the term malware? I see Bright Peter said binary or executable that can cause harm. Good. Who else? Any program that can cause a threat to a system. Good. You can just Google, you can just check on the ChatGPT. I know most of you are using these tools. So just check what is the meaning of a malware. So I see Leonard saying it refers to any intrusive software developed by cyber criminals, often called hackers, to steal data and damage or destroy computers and computer system. Good. Malware is any program that can cause harm to any computer devices. Yeah, I think that's good. So thank you so much. Let's proceed. I appreciate for your interaction. So maybe I could just say in a rules, you can define malicious malware as a malicious computer, maybe as a malicious executable computer files. Or you can just say a bit flexible definition, like it's annoying software or program codes. So it's also relying on what we have shared. Also, if it's a malicious software, then it can also harm your computer, and it can also bring or slow down the performance of your computer and alike. So thank you so much for your interaction, and I would appreciate to make this class to be an interactive class. So I will be stopping somewhere, asking questions. You just respond in the chat, and that's what we make it interactive. Okay, so maybe malicious analysis fundamentals, as we said, it's a running code without users' consent. So if you let somebody else execute code on your computer, then it is not, or it's not your own computer. So it's also not only a virus or worm, sometimes known as computer contaminants. So some of the fundamentals of malware analysis, it should also not be confused with defective software which contains harm bugs. Okay. Maybe I could also we can go back. Maybe you can also in the chat share out what are the reasons for the rise of malware nowadays, over recent. If you can share in the chat, what do you think are the reasons behind malware? So we have seen over recently so many impacts or negative impacts, also the rise of malware to computers or to the digital environment. So what are the reasons? Can you share in the chat? What do you think are the reasons? As usual, you can just try to Google out, or you can just chat GPT, or you can just maybe use any resources you have to answer. What do you think are the reason behind the rise of malware over recent in the digital environment? No one is responding. I know CR are also active students. Okay, Exaud is good, financial gain. Any other reasons? So as Leonard was mentioning, that it's an intrusive software developed by cyber criminal like hackers. So sometimes hackers can raise or can maybe share out a malware for the financial gain. Thank you so much. It's also increased the number of digitized tasks. Yes, digitization could also be a triggering factor for more rise of malwares. I also see a political welfare. Yes, it is also a reason, Sophia, thank you. I also see Damas increasing internet connectivity. Yes, that could also be a reason. Andrew, critical or confidential information theft. Yes, people can raise out a malware for theft. So maybe if if they manage to steal that information, then they can also be able to gain, maybe if it's an intellectual property, then they can use that for commercial or for any other benefits. Yes, cyber warfare is also a reason, pirates. Yeah, so I really appreciate for most of the reason that you have given. Erisha, reason for the rise of malware is to perpetrate illegal activities so as to gain their own benefits for the actors. Yes, some of may have their own benefits. It's also exploit by the intended to cause political harm. Yes. And you know, sometimes even on organization, someone or the competitor can send out a malware, maybe even for just downgrading your reputation. So there's also many other reasons behind. Yes, Samuel, I thank you, including financial gains, espionage, sabotage, or simply for the threat of causing disruption. Blackmailing, yes. So most of the reasons you have mentioned is true, could have contributed to the rise of the malware over the recent, especially in the digital environment. Yes, so maybe I could also share, as most of you have mentioned, the reason for the increase of malware nowadays, maybe as people mentioned, the growing number and connectivity of the computers. Now everybody is connected and dependent on computers. So the number of attack has also increased. Attack can be launched easily. That's what we call the automated attacks. But another reason is the growing system complexity and safe programming language. I think this is also connecting to IA321, which we are running on secure programming. So if you have unsafe programming language, then it could also bring malware to your organization or to your digital systems. Also, hiding code is also easy. Verification and validation is also impossible. So this is also when people are having complex system, then could result to hiding code, which could be easy, but also verification and validation could also be impossible because of the complexity of the digital system that has been employed within your organization. But then another reason is systems are easily extensible. You see people using mobile code, dynamically loadable modules, incremental evolution of systems. So all of these could result to reasons behind the increase of malware over recently. Thank you so much for your interaction. This has been very, very good. So you actually have the top 10 malware in the presentation, but I also shared in the WhatsApp group in our group, our course group, the book or the PDF which explain over recent. I think this is for 2024. You can now see a lot of top 10 most prevalent attacks. So some of them, of course, you can see a number of, for example, peka.malware.assad.ad, which is taking 33.71. But in the report that I've shared, maybe most of this attack could be associated with process injection. I also shared another reasons or another maybe could be maybe the attractive environment for the malware is what we call the command and scripting interpreter, impaired defenses, system information discovery, data encrypted for impact, operating system credential dumping, application layer, so many other reasons or could also result to the top 10 malware. So as I've said, according to Sophos, 80% of the reported attack is spyware. So this is something that I thought I could also mention for this. I know you will kindly try to find out, maybe for the 2024, what are the top 10 malware over recently? I know these were included here for some times, so the list could change as of recent. So you can go through the report that I shared on the Ready report from Picasso. Then it could also help you to understand some of the current malware for the maybe for the 2024 or 2023. Okay, I want to types of malware. So I said viruses and worms, spywares and adware, and another group is on bots, Trojan, and keyloggers. Maybe in the chat, you could share what is the difference between viruses and worms, and also what's the difference between spyware and adware. And maybe what do you know about bots, Trojans, and keylog? Maybe I will try to monitor the chats and see your thoughts. You can just try to find it on online or any other resources that you're using. Thank you for sharing the link. Above link direct to most malware over recently. Thank you. To me, I can. Okay, I can share it. Yes. On the yes, can you share out the difference between virus and worms, spyware and adware? Okay. A worm can self-replicate and spread to other computers while a virus cannot. Good. Thank you, Forex. Bright. Peter, virus is a malicious program that mostly require user action, either on file, software, or any, but worm, it replicates itself. Thank you. Malware is a general term for any malicious software. Worms are a specific type of malware that spread autonomously through computer network. Thank you. This is Evans. Andrew Kiwango, I see virus is a software that can execute, can be executable and cause unintended behavior in a computer or a network, while a worm is a self-executing program that spreads throughout a network or a computer system. Thank you so much, Andrew. Samuel Isaac, virus need a user interaction to spread, like opening an infected file, while worms spread automatically over a network without needing user action. Virus attack to file, worm exploits network vulnerabilities. Virus often damage individual system. Worm can cause widespread disruption. Thank you so much, Samuel. I also see Leonard Rukundo. A virus is a type of malware that attaches itself to a legitimate program or file, replicating when that program or file is executed. But unlike virus, worms are standalone malware program that can spread independently without requiring a host or file or user action. Thank you so much, Rukundo. Rain adware is a type of malware that comes informal. And I see also, I recommended when you are logging, make sure you use your real name because, for example, cyber 3RF0X, I'm not sure if this is the correct name, but you should try to use your real name so that you're able to follow up. So Trojan spread through user interaction like email attachment. Rain adware is a type of malware that comes in form of advertisement, while spyware is a type of malware that installs itself without user awareness and record all activities and send details to the attacker, act as a spy. Okay, good. Trojan is a type of malicious software that disguises itself as a legitimate program or file to trick user into downloading and install it. Once activated, Trojan can perform harm actions on infected devices, such as stealing data, spying on user activities, or damaging files. It's true. A rootkit is a type of software that is designed to hide its presence or presence of other malicious software on a computer system. Rootkit often have privileged access to the operating system, making them difficult to detect and remove. Yes, thank you, it's true. The keylogger, the keylogger is a type of software or hardware device that record every keystroke made by a user on a computer. A keyboard. Keylogger are often used for malicious purpose to capture sensitive information like password, credit card numbers, and other confidential. Yes, true. Angelina spyware is malicious software that secretly monitor and gather information about user activities without their knowledge, while adware is a software that display unwanted advertisement on a user devices. Yes, good. Thank you, Angelina. Erisha, spyware are malicious code designed to spy activities without user knowledge, while adware, this come as advertisement for harming assets. Hussein, spyware is designed to secretly gather information about persons or organization without their knowledge or consent. Andrew Kiwango, spyware runs in the background, collecting data and sending them. Yeah, so I think most of the answers are correct. I really appreciate for your activeness. You can keep sharing out your thought, and this make class to be an interactive. Good. So as most of you have already mentioned, worms are the oldest one. So first well-known worm was the Meris worm. This was used in BSD, Unix Pro, to propagate itself. But the viruses require a host, like most of you have mentioned this, Word document or any other document. Both can spread through an email. For example, Marisa virus uses address book of the infected computer. This was 1999. So because it's less beneficial to the creator, this oldest form of malware is dying out. So at least we don't see much of the effect on the worms, but at least on the virus, we still have a lot of news on the impact of the viruses. Okay, so thank you. See people are joining. Let me permit them and unmute. Should unmute both? Okay. Okay, thank you. Good. So spyware and adware. So the growth of internet helped us find spyware. So largely fueled by the prospect of monetary gain, as most of you mentioned, on the reason of the rise or increase of spy malware. So not spread like virus, instead packaged with user-installed software, mostly when you download from the peer-to-peer program, like torrents program. So risks are variant forms, causes sluggish systems, slow web browsing, and annoying pop-ups. It's more dangerous spyware tracks the browsing habit or sensitive information. Okay, I still see people are sharing out. Bots are the compromised computer devices used to perform certain attack of the victims as initiated from the attack. The network of the compromised computer form botnet, zombies. Yeah, good. Thank you, Joseph Roger. And I see Samuel Isaac, a lot of Hussein. Okay, be good. So maybe as people are sharing out, the bots and Trojan bots bot makers infect multiple systems, so they create massive botnets that can be used to launch a distributed denial of service attack. And while the Trojan is a way to secretly install piece of malware on a system, it could be hardware or keylogger, and most of you have already mentioned the keylogger. So Trojan can come in form of hardware or in form of keylogger. It always sneaks on a system and delivers unexpected and potential devastating payloads. So also another section that I would appreciate to cover today is on the flaws and the vulnerabilities. So we know we have homogeneity, e.g. when all computers in a network run on the same operating system. So if you can break that operating system, then you can also break into any computer running it, like previous operating system, which were insecure, like maybe Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, even over recent Windows 8 has also had some challenges. And defects, it's also happened mostly system containing errors, which may be exploited by malware. Unconfirmed code, these are the code from a floppy disk for those who have used floppy disk, especially from our ages, where the CD-ROM or USB devices may be executed without the user agreement. So there is also another term of privileged users. Then this is some of the system around all users to modify their internal structures. Then of privileged codes, it's the most popular systems allow the codes executed by a user or rights of that users. So as already mentioned on the viruses, it's a piece of code that infects other program by modifying them. It can replicate its instruction code into other program, very much likely like it's biological harmful. It can also spread into programs in another computer by several ways, maybe by using flash, emails, and many other different ways. It secretly executes when host program is running, and it's specific to a particular software or hardware platform. So if a virus has been designed for Windows environment, may not be active for the Linux or Unix environment or Mac. So it's also depend on the hosting environment. So the lifetime of a virus, it has a different phases. It can come as maybe in the dormant phase. This is an idle. Not all of them have this phase, but it can also have a propagation phase, which it can copy itself into other programs. It can also have maybe a triggering phase, which is activated by system events. And also it can come, or it can have an execution phase. This is runs its payload, part of the malicious action. So the lifetime of a virus can be on a different phases, can be on a dormant, can be on propagations, can be on a triggering, and can be on the execution phases. I remember to have asked that question last year when I was teaching this course. So it's also important you can understand and be able to practice. Actually, you can even develop a program. Maybe you can develop your own virus and share it. So this is one of the structure of a virus. So you can have this code and try to replicate and have maybe a virus that can propagate from one computer to another. But it's important when you are planning to develop a virus, then make sure you know which environment do you want that virus to be active. So you can develop a virus that can be active on Windows environments, or it can affect Linux systems, or it can even affect the Unix system. So it depends on the environment to which you want to develop your virus. Also, the affected program will always first run when the virus code invoked. And if the infection phase is fast, then it will be unrecognized. And the infected version of the program is no longer than the normal, where a virus can compress the infected program to make its version identical, right? So I think in terms of types of virus, we have different types of virus, like a parasitic virus, which is a traditional kind. We can also have memory resident virus. We can also, this is always located in a memory, and it's always if infect executing program. You can also have a boot sector virus. It normally infects MBR and spreads when system is booted. We can also have the stealth virus, which is a compression technique. It always intercepts logic in disk input-output routines. You can also have a polymorphic virus, which make detection by signature impossible by adding junk instructions or changing instruction in order or using encryption. So you can see there exist different types of virus, and another one is a metamorphic virus, which is similar to a polymorphic virus, but its additional changes its behavior. So see people are joining. Let me permit. Okay. And also mute. Yeah, mute. Mute them. Yeah. Maybe people are joining. People are dropping out and joining, then I can mute. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, let me check. After the type of virus, let's see macro virus. This is a platform independent. It can also infect Microsoft Word document, easily spread by email. There is also email virus, like the one I said, the Melissa, which used to send mails with Word attachment. Then it can replicate to damage resources within the computer. Grayware, these are also applications that are installed on a user's computer to track or report certain information back to some external resources, and usually installed and run without the permission of the user. It behaves in a manner that is annoying or undesirable. It's also designed to harm the performance of the computer. So it's also important to understand. So what are the sources came from downloading shareware, freeware, or other forms of file sharing services, opening infected email attachment, clicking on a pop-up advertising, visiting frivolous or spoofed websites, installing Trojan applications. So this could be could bring Groya on your computer system. So I think it's not necessarily relevant. Website developers use the newer techniques to customize their website to obtain better results. So the ultimate goal of many of them is tracking the usage patterns of visitors and to offer more customized search results to result in higher sales. I think most of you are aware on these type of the grayware, and sometimes the cookers could also track the user activity. Okay, so more of annoyance than security threats. It can slow performance, more pop-up advertising, then the web browser homepage is being directed to other sites, can even direct it to malicious sites. If hackers are not, if the hackers are not counted, then you find the impact of the malware could also be high. Hackers use malware to load and run programs that collect information, that track usage patterns, invasion of privacy. Then it can also track a keystroke, modifying system settings, inflict other kind of damage. So you can see there are a lot of challenges on the malware, like spyware included with the freeware, does not notify the users of its existence or ask permission to install the component. So it will always silently stay within your computer or your smartphone. The hardware embedded in a freeware application that can use that users can download or install at no cost. So that's different ways that can come. It can also come as a dialer used to control the PC modem to make long distance calls, to call premium 900. These are some of the type of malware that have existed. Gaming, installed to provide jokes or nonsense games. So all these are type of malware that could infect within your computer. There are also jokes, peer-to-peer malware, keylogger malware, hijacker. So all of these are the type of the category of the malware plugins, network management. For example, they're always designed to be installed for malicious purposes. It can be used to change the network setting, disrupt the network security, and many other services within the network. Okay, another category is the remote administration tool, which can allow an external user to remotely gain access or change or monitor computer on the network. So should also be aware that when you are offering maybe a remote access, then make sure you go to secure applications like SSH and many other tools. I know most of you have used TeamViewers, which is also used to access the remote access to a computer. Toolbar installed to modify the computer existing toolbar features. There is also a downloader. These are the categories installed to allow other software to be downloaded and installed without the user knowledge, usually run during the startup. So all these are type of the malware that can exist within your computer. And the impact, as we have seen, is huge, and it can bring a lot of negative. So what can be done on the malware? So user education is important, educating employee regarding the nature and danger of malware, but also home-based and spyware program would also be used to protect the digital resources against malware, network-based malware protection. That could also be important to protect your infrastructure or your digital environment. I remember in the chat, people also mentioned about the Trojan, but Trojan horse. So I think we can maybe review it quickly and be able to proceed. Where people are saying a Trojan, for example, is a type of malicious software that is disguised itself as a legitimate program or a file to track users, then when downloading and installing it. So it's very important to be aware of this. So Trojan horse is another type of proper looking software, but it performs another action such as similar to what the virus is doing. It's usually encoded in a hidden payload used in the installation of the backware. It does not propagate itself by self-replication. It is always derived from the classical style of Trojan horse. So these are some of the example. Adding codes to Unix logging command is enable exceptions of encrypted password or particular known password. So C compiler can be modified to automatically generate log codes. So waterfall.scr is a free waterfall screensaver. It's always unloads a hidden program and command and script. So these are some of the examples of the Trojan horse. So types of the Trojan horse. You can have a remote access Trojan horse, data destruction Trojan horse, downloader Trojan horse, server Trojan horse, security software disabler, and a denial of service attack. So some of these could bring maybe a negative impact to your computer or to your digital environment. I think some of these you have already mentioned. Damages of a Trojan horse, of course, can erase or overwrite data on a computer, encrypting files in a crypto-viral extortion attack. I think we all heard about ransomware, which is also doing something like that. So backdoors, bypassing actual authentication, securing remote access to a computer, obtaining access to plain text, but remain undetected. You can even create a backdoor and share to a person like a legitimate file, but behind it, you can attach or embed a backdoor. So I think it's also important to be aware of that. Some of the example of backdoors that exist. Worms, as we have already covered. It is a self-contained program and does not need human intervention. Unlike email viruses, it can replicate and send a copy of itself from one computer to another if they're within a network or interconnected. So how does it replicate? It can replicate through email facilities, through the remote execution capability, and can also through the remote logging capability. So these are some of the way that worms can replicate, okay? The lifetime of worms, like what we have seen on the virus, can be on dormant phase, propagation phase, triggering phase, and execution phase. Some of the example, malicious worms and code red, but I have seen some of you guys sharing the list of the updated example of the top 10 worms. Okay, good. Code red, these are some of the worms that are state-of-the-art technology. This is a platform, which is always executing different platform. But you can also have the ultra-fast spreading, polymorphic, metamorphic, transport vehicles, zero-day exploit. These are some of the states of the worm technology. Spam, abuse of electronic messaging system to indiscriminately send unassociated bulk messages. It always remains an economical viable. Advertisers have no operating cost beyond the management of their mailing list. It is also difficult to hold senders accountable for their mass mailings. So spam is also very common on the mails. And even nowadays, even on WhatsApp, you can still spam messages on WhatsApp. Spamming is in the different media, email, as I mentioned, instant messages, chat room, chat spam, news group, forums, even on WhatsApp, as I mentioned. Those are the different mobile phone, online gaming. So these are the different ways that spam can propagate. So distributed denial of service attack. This is also one of the very common kind of malware, where distributed denial of service attacks always make a computer system inaccessible by flooding servers, networks, and end-user computers with a lot of traffic. In a distributed denial of service attack, a large number of compromised hosts are messed, and if an attack comes from a single machine, it is referred to as a distributed denial of service attack. But if it's coming from many other computers, then we call it distributed. So some of the attack description: DDoS attack attempt to consumers target resources. It also consume operations based on internal resources attack, consume of data transmission resources. So again, some of the internal resources attacker take control of multiple hosts and instruct them to contact with the target. So it's better important to make sure our digital environments are secure. Distributed SYN flood attack, you can see an attack machine. You have a slave server. Then you can see the packets, SYN packets going to the internet and going to the end. See the acknowledgement from the target and the like. So it's better to make sure we also protect against distributed denial of service. So consumers consume of data transmission resources. So the attacker take control of the host, instruct them to send SMP echoes packets with the target IP address to a group of hosts. Then nodes that receive multiple requests and respond with sending echo reply back. So you can find your network becoming slow because of all of these malware that we have discussed. So it's important to make sure you protect your digital environment so that resources could be used as the way they were intended to be used within your organization. Okay, distributed ICMP attack, okay, good. A direct distributed denial of service attack can implement zombies software like master and slave zombies. Then the attacker coordinates the master zombies. They trigger slave zombies while a two-level zombie needed to make more difficult to trace the attack because back to its sources. You can see you have a master and slave zombies, and then the master is activated, then it's automatically activated the slave. Yeah. So this is a pictorial representation of distributed denial of service attack. Okay, we also have reflector. Then this is a time slave send packet to reflector. Then it's depend on the design of your network. You can also have this, how to find the victim. If your computer is infected, maybe within your network, and for example, the UDOM network, which is having around 5 or 500 or 10, maybe I can say maybe 5,000 computer resources. In case you want to find which computer has a victim, you can use a random approach. You can use hit list. You can use the topographical local subnet. And also, if you are doing accounting, you can even monitor the level of traffic from each computer. Then that could also be a way to find a victim machine. So some of the countermeasures for DDoS, attack prevention and preemption. You can enforcing policies for resource consumption. Then you can also attack detection and filtering. And you can also have attack source traceback and identification. So I think all of these could help to countermeasure the DDoS attack. Okay, so malware to profit, as we have seen, because malware can happen for the financial gain. Another way is a different use of infected computer to do work for the creator. So you can use a different computer to make sure you gain access, and then it allows you to do your work. Malware for profits, in order to coordinate the activity of many infected computer, use of the coordinating systems, botnets. So botnets are also used to push ungraded malware to the infected system. So other than those, there is a stealing credit card, you can steal password, take control of the model. So you can see. Some of the advanced antivirus techniques, including generic description, digital immune system, and behavior blocking software. So these could be a few of the way that you could use to address or to mitigate the impact of malware as well as virus and virus worms. So, okay, so the generic description, CPU emulator, virus signature scanner, emulation control. So this could be one way of addressing some of these. So the digital immune system, you can use it to monitor program in a client machine, discovers suspicious program, signature or behavior, forwarding program to administrative machine, where the administrative machine encrypt and send it to the central and analysis machine. So it's depend on the architecture that you can have. Okay. See. Okay. Yeah, so I think here is where I can now here now you can go deeper on the malware detection techniques. You can have a signature based and you can have the anomaly based. You know, sometimes I give out this kind of questions. Briefly describe at least two approaches for the malware detection. So you can use the signature based malware detection, or you can use the anomaly based malware detection. I hope most of them have been covered on the next slide. So, okay. So I think maybe I can also give one more time for you to share out what is the difference between signature-based malware detection and anomaly-based malware detection. Maybe on the chat, I will be monitoring the chat for a couple of minutes. Share out. What do you think are the difference between malware or signature-based malware detection vis-a-vis anomaly-based malware detection? Share in the chat to see. You can just search it online, you can use internet, ChatGPT, just to have something that can interact in this session. Welcome. Monitoring the chat. Okay. Are you there, class? If you are there, try to wave your hand. Yes, I see Boniface, June. Okay, good. Boniface, do you want to speak, or you are just raising your hand as a way of showing you are there? Sophia Chumo, I see you. Okay, good. See a lot of people there. Okay, good. There is Hussein. Signature-based malware detection is a method used by antivirus and anti-malware software to identify and block non-malware software based on their unique signature or patterns. Good. Okay, Boniface, thank you. You have just raised your hand to show your activeness. Good. Okay. I think it's fine. Okay, thank you, Sophia. Bright Peter, thank you. Signature-based, used for detection malware based on, okay, good. Signature-based detection, compare network traffic to a database of known attack patterns, effective against knowing threats. Boniface, thank you. High force positive rates relies on regular signature. Okay, a normal-based detection establishes baseline of normal behavior and flag deviations. Yeah, so good. So far, so good. Maybe we can check it out. A normal-based, it uses its knowledge of what constitutes a normal behavior to decide the maliciousness of a program. It is a specification-based detection, leveraging a rule set of what is valid behavior, whereby signature-based uses the characterization of what is known to be a malicious to decide the maliciousness of the program. Good, thank you. So specific approach for determining how the taking gather information to detect malware, you can use static analysis vis-a-vis dynamic analysis. Maybe on the chat, can you share out what's the difference between static analysis vis-a-vis dynamic analysis? Let me monitor the chat. Thank you, thank you. I see people are writing Shiva's signature-based malware detection uses signature, and the best way to describe them like a fingerprint or virus, which is unique to that. Good, thank you. Still people answering the normal-based vis-a-vis the signature-based. Yeah, thank you. Maybe you can also speak about the static vis-a-vis dynamic, static analysis vis-a-vis dynamic analysis, okay? Anyone? If you want to share something? Eh? Oh, yeah, so I think this was good. I still see people are joining. Okay. Boniface, Sophia, of course, raised your hand, but you have mentioned you have raised to show your activeness is good. You can write it down if it's done. Okay. Okay, good. So let me monitor. Static analysis, examine the code without execution. Use it for non-signature dynamic analysis, execute malware, revealing behaviors effective against obfuscation. Okay, good. Static-based analysis, okay, is also known as a static analysis or static code analysis. It involves examining the code or the binary of a software program without executing it. Okay, good. Static analysis, examine code without execution. Dauda, static analysis involve examining the characteristics of a file or system without executing it. Hussein, signature-based analysis, okay, good. Yeah, so I think it was good. Maybe as people have said, static analysis before the program and the inspection executes sequence of bytes, while the dynamic analysis is during or after program execution. So system sim on the runtime stack. So maybe we can proceed from there. If anyone want to contribute, share your experience. Yes, Tommy. Dynamic analysis use behavior and action while execution to identify whether executable is malware. Oh, good. Yeah. I want few students to speak about the session. And I think we can end up here. Maybe CRS, what have you gained on the today's session? You can unmute and speak. I know most of you are muted. So feel free to. Okay, Hussein, can you speak anything on relating on today's section? You can unmute and speak. Joshua, karibu.
Asante. Session ni nzuri and very interesting. Nimejifunza mambo, kuna vitu vingi vipya nimejifunza, especially the differences between malwares.
Okay.
Also
Sana.
also pia kipengele cha chatting participation imekuwa nzuri sana.
Okay, good. So at least the interaction is good. So I think it's maybe something that we can improve. Thank
Yes.
you. Andrew Kiwango, do you want to speak? You can unmute and maybe share out what you have learned and from the program. Be free to use Swahili, English, though English would be appreciated. Andrew, are you able to unmute? Boniface, welcome. Boniface Mjun, you have muted your mic, so you are unmuted, so you can speak. Oh, if you are speaking, we can't hear you, Boniface. Okay. Bright Peter, you can unmute and speak. Okay. I don't know. Elisha? Okay. Esther Haure, you can unmute and maybe, yeah, Bright is on the library. Good. Can't speak. Yeah. Andrew is also in the library. Okay. The good thing of remote, you can connect from anywhere. So maybe we can keep using this approach. Because I can imagine if you're in a library and you're also attending a lecture, then you're also able to do other things. Maybe people are going to the library for accessing the internet or just for reading. Sophia Mchomv, do you want to speak? Rhoda Msiba can speak if you are in an environment where you can talk. Okay. Okay, if no one there to speak, then thank you so much for your active participation. And I think we have covered a lot of issues. And mind you, as a recap, we have said that this course has so many aims and objectives. So I hope you will also find time to go through some of these and try to work on how you can gain the skills that is required for this course. Because we said as the course objective is to make you understand the fundamental aspect of malware analysis and the reverse engineering. Also to make you understand and acquire knowledge and skills on how to analyze malware, dynamical and statistical. So at least static analysis and dynamic analysis, at least we have started introducing that concept. Students will also be able to explore the different malware analysis tools and techniques. Of course, we'll find time to talk about that. You will also acquire the practical skills to examine the malicious program that targets and infect Windows systems. And then you also be able to build a strong foundation for reverse engineering software, reverse engineering malicious software using variety of system and network monitoring utilities, the assemblers, debug, and the other tools used for turning malware inside out. So I think you have enjoyed the session, and we can end up here. And thank you so much for your active participation. I see a lot of people are chatting in the chat. There's been an awesome session. Hope more has been gained. Thank you very much. Thank you for your dedications. Okay, we are grateful for the effort. Okay, thank you so much, students, and have a nice day. So you can end up here.